Independent football regulator backed after fan-led review. The creation of an independent regulator for football has been endorsed in principle by the government. The fan-led review of football governance, chaired by former Sports Minister Tracy Crouch, has concluded that such a regulator is required to provide financial oversight in the English game and that football could no longer be left to run itself. Culture Secretary Nadine Dorries welcomed the review and said the government would now work on a substantive response which it would present next spring. However, she has already indicated the government's support and principle for an independent regulator. "We are at a turning point for football in this country," Dorries said in a written ministerial statement to the House of Commons. "The review is a detailed and worthy piece of work that will require a substantive response and plan of action from across government. But the primary recommendation of the review is clear and one the government chooses to endorse in principle today. That football requires a strong, independent regulator to secure the future of our national game. The government will now work at pace to determine the most effective way to deliver an independent regulator and any powers that might be needed." The Conservative Party promised a fan-led review in its 2019 general election manifesto, following the demise of Barry earlier that year. It commissioned a review in April of this year, following the controversy surrounding the short-lived European Super League. The creation of an independent regulator via an Act of Parliament was the central recommendation of the review. Its primary purpose would be to ensure clubs are run sustainably and for the benefit of their communities through a licensing system. The regulator would have responsibility for administering strengthened owners and directors tests and would impose a solution on financial distribution between the Premier League and the EFL if they cannot work one out themselves. The review called for a shadow regulator to be set up immediately, and Crouch told the PA news agency she hoped it would be fully up and running in time for the 2023-24 season. The review also proposed a transfer levy of up to 10% on Premier League clubs signing players from overseas or from other top-flight clubs. It also called for a pilot on the sale of alcohol inside of the pitch at selected National League and League Two matches, better support for young players released from academies, and a separate review of women's football. Dorries added